Biafra, The War That Changed Nigeria, Season 2, Episode 18, The Defense of Umuahia. Following the fall of Enugu, attention shifted decisively toward Umuahia. What had once been a quiet regional town now stood at the center of military planning, government administration, and public attention. Roads leading into the town became increasingly active as officials, soldiers, and support personnel arrived from different directions. Across the region, many viewed Umuahia as more than a location. It had become a symbol of determination and continuity. Though uncertainty surrounded the future, people believed the town would play a critical role in the next phase of the conflict. As activity intensified, Umuahia gradually transformed into the heart of a new chapter in the war. As Umuahia assumed greater importance, military preparations accelerated throughout the surrounding region. Supply depots expanded, communication systems improved, and soldiers worked tirelessly to strengthen key positions. Convoys moved continuously along strategic roads, delivering equipment and provisions. Officers coordinated logistics, while engineers improved defensive infrastructure. Across camps and command posts, there was a growing awareness that preparation would be essential for whatever challenges lay ahead. Every action reflected a commitment to readiness. The atmosphere was serious but purposeful, as efforts focused on protecting one of the most important locations in the region. Inside command headquarters, large maps covered tables illuminated by lantern light. Officers reviewed intelligence reports arriving from multiple sectors, while commanders discussed strategic options. Communication personnel worked continuously to gather information and relay updates. Every report helped shape decisions affecting the future of military operations. Though uncertainty remained, planning never stopped. Across headquarters, determination replaced hesitation as leaders sought to anticipate future developments. The defense of Umuahia required careful coordination, and preparations continued long after darkness covered the surrounding countryside. Beyond military headquarters, ordinary civilians adjusted to changing realities. Families gathered in homes discussing recent developments, while community leaders encouraged calm and unity. Markets remained active, churches welcomed worshipers, and schools continued wherever possible. Yet beneath the routine of daily life, many understood that uncertain days lay ahead. Some families quietly prepared emergency plans, while others focused on supporting neighbors and relatives. Across towns and villages, resilience remained visible. Though concerns persisted, people continued finding strength in community, faith, and shared determination. As preparations intensified, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu met with senior officers to review defensive plans around Umuahia. Maps displayed key routes, supply networks, and strategic positions, while reports from various sectors arrived throughout the day. Discussions focused on readiness, coordination, and maintaining stability amid evolving circumstances. Every decision carried significance. Though challenges remained, the atmosphere inside headquarters reflected determination rather than fear. Across the command structure, leaders worked carefully to ensure that preparations were as thorough as possible. The defense of Umuahia had become a defining priority. Around Umuahia, military preparations entered a new phase as defensive positions were reinforced across strategic locations. Soldiers worked through long hours, strengthening trenches, improving communication lines, and preparing supply routes. Convoys transported equipment to critical sectors, while officers inspected defensive works. Across the countryside, visible signs of preparation reassured some residents while increasing concern among others. The determination of the troops reflected the importance of the task before them. Every trench, observation post, and supply depot became part of a larger effort to protect the town and prepare for the challenges that lay ahead. Far beyond Umuahia, military movements continued across strategic routes leading eastward. Convoys advanced steadily through forests, villages, and tropical highways, while commanders coordinated operations from field headquarters. News of these developments spread rapidly among local communities, creating growing concern and anticipation. Villagers watched columns of vehicles pass through roads that connected towns and settlements. Across the region, many sensed that another major chapter of the conflict was approaching. The importance of Umuahia continued to grow as attention increasingly focused on the town and its defenses. As reports from the front continued to arrive, the atmosphere surrounding Umuahia grew increasingly tense. Military planners reviewed defensive arrangements, while soldiers prepared for possible future engagements. Across towns and villages, conversations frequently turned toward the latest developments. Families listened closely to radio broadcasts, hoping for encouraging news. Though uncertainty remained, there was also a strong sense of determination. Communities understood that important decisions and difficult tests might soon lie ahead. The feeling that a decisive moment was approaching could be sensed throughout the region. Within military headquarters, intelligence reports became the focus of constant attention. Officers reviewed maps, analyzed developments, and discussed possible scenarios late into the night. Communication networks worked continuously to provide updates from different sectors. Every report offered valuable information, yet also raised new questions about future events. Across command centers, uncertainty remained a persistent challenge. Nevertheless, leaders continued planning carefully, understanding that preparation and adaptability would be essential. The defense of Umuahia depended not only on soldiers in the field, but also on the decisions being made inside headquarters. As tensions continued to rise, the defensive preparations around Umuahia were put to the test. Soldiers remained vigilant at key positions, while commanders monitored developments from headquarters. Across the surrounding countryside, military units maintained readiness and communication networks remained active. Civilians followed events closely through radio broadcasts and community discussions. Though uncertainty persisted, confidence grew among those who witnessed the effectiveness of the defensive measures. The town had become more than an administrative center. It now stood as a symbol of determination and resilience. For many, the ability to maintain stability during difficult circumstances provided renewed hope for the future. As weeks passed, Umuahia became increasingly recognized as a symbol of endurance during a challenging period of the war. Communities continued adapting to changing realities, while leaders focused on maintaining stability. Markets remained active, schools functioned where possible, and religious gatherings offered encouragement. Across towns and villages, people viewed Umuahia as a reminder that resilience could survive even in uncertain times. The town represented more than military significance. It embodied determination, sacrifice, and the will to continue moving forward despite adversity. Its growing importance resonated throughout the region. As another chapter of the conflict unfolded, attention increasingly shifted toward the future. Military leaders continued refining their plans, while civilians adjusted to changing circumstances. Though challenges remained, determination endured. The defense of Umuahia demonstrated the importance of preparation, resilience, and adaptability during uncertain times. Across the region, people understood that the conflict was far from over, yet they also recognized the strength that communities had shown in the face of adversity. History continued moving forward, and the story of Umuahia would become an important part of the larger narrative of the war. The defense of Umuahia became a powerful symbol of resilience during one of the most challenging periods of the Nigerian Civil War. While military leaders planned for the future and soldiers strengthened defensive lines, ordinary civilians continued to show courage, unity, and determination. The story of Umuahia reminds us that history is not only shaped by battles and strategies, but also by the endurance of communities facing extraordinary circumstances. As the conflict entered another chapter, the spirit of resilience remained unbroken. If you enjoyed this documentary, Please like, subscribe, and follow on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook for the next episode of Biafra, the war that changed Nigeria. Coming next, Season 2, Episode 19, The Battle for Owerri. Coming soon.